प्यारे बच्चों, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਸ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਚਰਚਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹੀ ਸਰੀਰ ਥਰ-ਥਰ ਕੰਬਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਹੈਲਦੀ ਟਿਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਟਰੋਏ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਮੌਤ ਦੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਧੱਕ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਹਾਂ, ਇਸ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੈ ਕੈਂਸਰ। Cancer is more common in people between 40 to 60 years of age. It is one of the chief killers in the modern world and so is one of the most dreaded diseases of human beings. According to WHO report of 2004, every year about 10 million people throughout the world are diagnosed as having cancer. Globally, cancers cause about 4 million deaths annually, which account for nearly 10% of all deaths. ਸਿਰਫ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ 1 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਲੋਕ ਇਸ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਪੀੜਤ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਮਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਆਓ ਇਸ ਕਲਿੱਪ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਸਰਸ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
We see that cancers are of different types. Skin cancer and breast cancer are very common type of cancer in females. Brain cancer, throat cancer, lung cancer, abdominal cancer, blood cancer are some of the cancers we commonly hear of. But the real question here is, what is cancer? Cancer is an abnormal and uncontrolled division of cells. Or I may say that cancer develops as a result of abnormal rate of cell division, and these abnormally dividing cells invade and destroy the surrounding tissues.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ? ਪਰ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕਾਰਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ। You all know that the body of an adult human being is made up of hundreds of billions of cells. Old cells die and new cells replace them. Each minute, several billion of these cells die and are replaced by an equal number of new cells. These new cells are produced by simple mitotic cell division. Students, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਕੀਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ cell division ਬਾਰੇ ਯਾਦ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਇੱਕ cell divide ਹੋ ਕੇ ਦੋ identical cells ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਨਵੇਂ cells ਜੋ ਕਿ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਬਣਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਅਤੇ dead cells ਨੂੰ replace ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ। Normal cells reproduce at exactly the rate required to replace the dying cells, never at a faster rate. Normally, the cells of these tissues divide at a fixed rate in a controlled manner. Because their division is controlled by a regulatory mechanism which also regulates the growth and differentiation of cells. When regulatory mechanism breaks down, the body tissues start dividing in an uncontrolled manner, causing cancer. It looks very simple, but sometimes this rate of cell division gets disturbed and abnormal cells are produced. It can also be said that these cells lose the ability to reproduce at a controlled rate. So, these cells multiply in an uncontrolled manner. With this uncontrolled rate of cell division, a mass of cells get built up which we call a tumor. You might have heard this word tumor many a times, and every time it gives a very scary feeling. But all types of tumors are not cancerous. Basically, cancer is of two types: benign and malignant. A type of cancer where the tumor stops growing by itself after some time and does not invade other tissues is known as benign. Benign means of a mild character that does not threaten health or life. It remains confined to the site of origin and does not spread to other parts of the body. People having it usually get it removed surgically. Floaters in the eye are benign. They have no significant effect on vision. Malignant. It is rapidly proliferating form of cancer. The cells within such tumors have the ability to invade neighboring tissues and organs, thus damaging the surrounding tissues. It is also possible for such cancerous cells to break free from the tumor and enter the bloodstream and reach distant sites where they may start a new tumor.
The malignant tumors are a mass of proliferating cells called neoplastic or tumor cells. These cells grow very rapidly, invading and damaging the surrounding normal tissues. As these cells actively divide and grow, they also starve the normal cells by competing for vital nutrients. Cells sloughed from such tumors reach distant sites through blood, and wherever they get lodged in the body, they start a new tumor there. This property, called as metastasis, makes this type of tumor as the most feared ones. So, metastasis is an activity of malignant cells through which cells break away from a malignant tumor and are carried by blood or lymph to other parts of the body where they multiply and form new tumors. This ability of cancer to spread to other parts of the body makes it extremely difficult to treat and hence makes it the most dreaded disease.
ਸਾਡਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਹੈ ਬਾਇਓਲੋਜੀ ਆਫ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਅਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੋਰ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਲਰਨਿੰਗ ਆਬਜੈਕਟਿਵਸ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂ.
Upon completion of this topic, learners will be able to define cancer, list types of cancer cells, explain the importance of regulatory mechanism in cell division, discuss the causes of cancer, list differences between normal cells and cancerous cells.
So students, cancer being a dreaded disease is one of the chief killers of human beings today. It commonly occurs in tissues in which cells are regularly replaced by mitosis. These tissues include skin, lining of digestive tract, reproductive organs, lungs, and liver, etc. Normally, the cells of these tissues divide at a certain fixed rate in a controlled manner. The cells lining the digestive tract or gut are replaced completely every 36 hours. That means in 2 days. Skin cells are also replaced every few days. Red corpuscles also have a life of a few weeks only. Division of these tissues is normally controlled by a regulatory mechanism which controls and regulates the division, growth, and differentiation of cells. Cancer in these cells is caused due to breakdown of the regulatory mechanism which leads to uncontrolled growth and division of certain body tissues. Students, ਜਦੋਂ ਸੈਲਸ ਦੀ ਗਰੋਥ ਅਤੇ ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ ਅਨਕੰਟਰੋਲਡ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਸੈਲਸ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਸ ਜਿਹਾ ਜਾਂ ਟਿਊਮਰ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਓਪਲਾਜ਼ਮ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਨਿਊ ਗਰੋਥ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੈਲਸ ਦੀ ਅਨਕੰਟਰੋਲਡ ਮਲਟੀਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਂਸਰਸ ਗਰੋਥ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। Here you can see it in the animation.
These cells grow in all directions, just like the roots of a tree, and occupy spaces between the tissue cells and break all barriers to spread into the neighboring tissues and organs. In this way, the cancerous tumor not only gets attached to deeper and superficial structures like muscles, bones, and skin, but can also get fixed to nerves, blood vessels, and other important structures. Some of these cells break loose from the parent tissue and enter the blood and fluid that transported in our body. These detached cancer cells are carried by blood and lymph to distant organs far away from the primary site. There, these cancerous cells get lodged in the new tissues and start growing and multiplying. This gives rise to what is known as secondary deposits or metastasis. The common sites for such deposits are liver, bones, brain, and skin, etc.
ਬਲੱਡ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਜਾਂ ਲਿਊਕੀਮੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਟਿਊਮਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦਾ। ਬੱਚਿਓ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਿਊਮਰਸ ਕੈਂਸਰਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਿਊਮਰ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੁਣੋ ਤਾਂ ਡਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ।
Tumors, which are non-cancerous, are called benign or non-malignant tumors. Benign tumors grow slowly and may attain a large size. It remains confined to its site of origin and does not spread to other parts of the body. Now again, this does not mean that benign tumors are harmless. They may grow big in size and cause crowding of other organs, resulting in pain.
Remember, a brain tumor may cause death because the brain is squeezed against the bony skull. Benign tumors should be surgically removed if discovered because sometimes they become malignant or cancerous. Because of rapid multiplication of these cancerous cells and their invasive character, these secondary deposits cause damage to some parts of the organs where they get lodged and subsequently lead to impairment and irregular functioning of organs. Lymph vessels carry detached cells to the adjacent and distant lymph nodes from where they may again enter the blood vessels. This is one of the reasons why cancer is a difficult disease to be cured. Cancer is in its primary stage when it has not invaded the neighboring structures or its cells have not got lodged in distant organs and lymph nodes. It can be easily treated at this early stage by removing the tissue involved with a reasonable hope of complete cure. ਪਰ ਇਹ ਉਹ ਸਟੇਜ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦਾ ਸਾਈਜ਼ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਟ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਕਿ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ। ਜੇਕਰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਰੰਤ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਲੈਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। Cancerous cells are of less adhesive nature than the normal cells, means they do not stick to each other. This is the reason they wander through the tissue to cause cancerous growths in different parts of the body. Cancer cells also have to learn how to invade and metastasize, and that in fact is involved in the inactivation of a whole series of controls that normally confines a cell to the site and the tissue where it normally grows. This uncontrolled growth helps these cells to move to other sites in the body. Let us see how it happens.
Normal cells as well as early cancer cells are called epithelial type because they bind tightly to each other, forming a stable layer of tissue. However, as a tumor becomes more advanced, some of the cells change to become mesenchymal. Mesenchymal cells do not bind to each other, forming more disorganized tissues in which the cells can move around. They lose the proteins that cells use to bind to each other and have other protein alterations that are characteristic of spreading cancer cells. Cancers kill us in general, not just because they grow into a large lump, but because they invade into normal tissues and disrupt the functions of those tissues, and they develop the ability to migrate to distant sites in the body.
Students, these capabilities of invasion and metastasis make these cells able to sustain themselves, expand, and migrate to healthy tissue. When cancer has metastasized and has affected other areas of the body, the disease is still referred to the organ of origination. For instance, if cervical cancer spreads to the lungs, it is still called cervical cancer, not lung cancer. Let us now see how cancer can be diagnosed.
Diagnosis of cancer. Usually, cancer is suspected based on a person's symptoms. Not only symptoms, the results of physical examination also help to diagnose cancer. Confirmation of cancer requires other tests also. Imaging or screening techniques like X-ray, MRI, ultrasound are very common type of test suggested by doctors for early detection of cancer cells. Once the cancer is diagnosed, it's checked. By knowing the stage of cancer, we come to know that how advanced the cancer has become. By doing pathological tests, we also find out whether the cancer has spread to neighboring tissue also.
Well students, ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਹੁਣ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬਚਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੀ ਰੋਕਥਾਮ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਸਾਨ ਹੈ। ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਈਫਸਟਾਈਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬਦਲਾਵ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੇ ਖਤਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੱਦ ਤੱਕ ਰਿਡਿਊਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੇ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੋਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਫੈਕਟਰਸ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਲ ਹਨ, ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛੀ ਖਬਰ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਵੋਇਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ।
Avoid smoking and exposure to smoke. Smoking is the most significant cancer-causing factor that we can reduce. It is responsible for not only lung cancer, but many other types of cancer. One of the best ways to prevent cancer is to quit smoking or never start it. Practice sun safety and recognize when skin changes occur. The first step in preventing skin cancer is to avoid exposure to ultraviolet rays. We can do this by wearing sunscreen, avoiding midday sun, wearing protective clothing when outdoors. Eat more fruits and vegetables. A diet rich in fruits and vegetables greatly reduces your risk of developing cancer. Fruits and vegetables contain antioxidants which help repair our damaged cells. Avoid red meat and animal fat. Numerous studies show that a diet high in animal fat increases the risk for several types of cancer, particularly colon cancer. Exercise daily. The American Cancer Society recommends exercising 30 minutes at least 5 days a week for cancer prevention. Know your personal and family medical history. Knowing your family history of cancer is important to properly assess your risk factor for certain types of cancer. We know that cancers like breast, colon, ovarian, and possibly other types may be hereditary. Check exposure to harmful chemicals. Chemicals in the workplace may increase your risk of developing many types of cancer, including kidney cancer and bladder cancer. Get screened for cancer regularly. Cancer screening tests can be useful not only in detecting cancer, but also helping prevent it. Screening tests like the colonoscopy and pap smear can detect abnormal cellular changes before they turn cancerous.
The key to prevent this dreadful disease, however, is that all these things are implemented regularly. Students, it's enough for today. Let us summarize all we have learned so far. Cancer is an abnormal and uncontrolled division of cells. As you know that organs in our body are made up of cells. These cells divide and multiply as per the requirement of the body. When these cells continue multiplying, when the body does not need them, it results in a mass of cells also called tumor. These growths may be either benign or malignant. Benign is considered non-cancerous and malignant is cancerous. Benign tumors rarely are life-threatening and do not spread to other parts of the body. They can often be removed. Benign tumors do not spread to the surrounding healthy tissue or other parts of the body. Malignant tumor is cancerous and it invades, compresses, and eventually destroys the surrounding healthy tissues also. It is the ability of tumors to invade into other tissues and spread around the body that makes them so dangerous. याद रखो कि ब्लड कैंसर ਜਾਂ ल्यूकीमिया ਦੇ ਕੇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਿਊਮਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦਾ। ਸਾਰੇ ਟਿਊਮਰਸ ਕੈਂਸਰਸ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ। Cancer is said to be in its primary stage when it has not invaded the neighboring structures. When cancerous cells get carried to other organs and tissues, they start multiplying there. It is said to be in metastasis or secondary stage. When there is uncontrolled division in most of the organs, it is said to be advanced or tertiary stage. Usually cancer is suspected based on a person's symptoms. Not only symptoms, the results of physical examination also help to diagnose cancer. Imaging or screening techniques like X-ray, MRI, ultrasound are very common type of tests suggested by doctors for early detection of cancer cells. Well students, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਤੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਲਾਭਕਾਰੀ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਹੋਰ ਸੁਚੇਤ ਰਹੋਗੇ. Now let me ask few questions to check what you have grasped from today's topic. My first question is, what is cancer? The answer is, cancer is an abnormal and uncontrolled division of cells. Here is the next question. What is metastasis? Answer. Metastasis is the spread of cancerous cells from one organ to another. The next question is, what is the cause of cancer? Answer. Uncontrolled mitosis is the cause of cancer. Next question. What causes uncontrolled mitosis? Answer. Breakdown of regulatory mechanism causes uncontrolled mitosis. Next question. What is blood cancer known as? The answer is, blood cancer is known as leukemia. My next question is, when is a tumor referred to as malignant? Answer. When it starts spreading to other organs of the body. My next question is, what is meant by a benign tumor? The answer is, benign tumor remains confined to the affected organ and there is no metastasis. My next question is, does tumor develop in blood cancer or leukemia? No. Tumors do not develop in blood cancer or leukemia. Next question. How do cancerous cells spread from one organ to another? Answer. Cancerous cells spread from one organ to another through blood and lymph vessels. The next question is, what is meant by primary stage of cancer? Answer. Cancer is in its primary stage when it has not invaded the neighboring body structures. My next question is, how do you rate the survival capacity of cancerous cells? Answer. Cancerous cells have less survival capacity than the normal cells. Well students, by now you all are fully aware as to what is the biology behind this dreaded disease called cancer. I hope you all will be able to perform well in the exams. Thanks for your attentive listening. Looking forward to see you in the next class.